As the sun dips below the horizon and shadows stretch across the forest, the air grows thick with tension. What seems like a peaceful camping trip can quickly unravel into a nightmare where the wilderness holds secrets darker than the night itself. Imagine finding yourself alone, surrounded by towering trees and an unsettling silence, only to discover that something is lurking just beyond your campfire's glow. Tonight, we delve into true, spine-chilling camping horror stories, tales of unsuspecting campers who encountered more than they bargained for in the great outdoors. But before we delve into tonight's terrifying tales, a huge shout out to all of you. Your support fuels this channel and keeps the nightmares coming. If our eerie stories captivate you, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a chilling episode. And if you want to help us grow and keep the fear alive, share our videos, drop a comment, or explore our support options on Patreon or Ko-fi. Every bit of support helps us bring you the best spine-tingling content. Thank you for joining us on this dark journey. Now let's embrace the shadows together. In August 2013, nestled deep within the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, an unsettling story began to unfold. My father, an experienced logger, was working long hours, often alone, with his co-worker, Rennie. They had been assigned to a new job site, unaware that their routine would soon spiral into a chilling nightmare. The logging crew operated on a paper tree system, which drove my father to work grueling 16 to 20-hour days. Communication with Rennie relied on radios, but as they ventured deeper into the mountains, their routine was disrupted by strange, unintelligible chatter seeping through the static, a whisper of unease in the tranquil wilderness. 10 days into their assignment, the unsettling ambience thickened. They stumbled upon odd containers and signs of human activity in an isolated area, igniting a deep-seated concern. As they pressed further, the radio chatter grew clearer, hinting at an unseen presence lurking nearby. One fateful day, Rennie discovered a tent hidden in the underbrush. Inside, they found a lone sleeping bag and a duffel bag filled with disturbing items. Children's underwear, a length of rope, duct tape, and unsettling sketches. The chilling realization settled over them. Someone deeply disturbed was close by. Despite the growing dread, my father insisted they finish their work before leaving the site. They decided to limit their radio communication to emergencies. Yet, while in range of the mysterious figures, they overheard chilling conversations about gathering water and wood, confirming that the tent was indeed occupied. One night, my father was jolted awake by Rennie's urgent whisper. Someone was outside. Tension hung thick as they heard shuffling footsteps and a doorknob rattling. After a long moment of scratching at the door, my father steeled himself to investigate. As he approached, he was suddenly ambushed, suffering a deep gash from his right eye to his left cheek. A fierce struggle ensued, with Rennie managing to fend off their assailants. They fled, leaving my father injured and traumatized. The two rushed to the nearest hospital for treatment and reported the harrowing incident to the police. Shockingly, just 2 weeks later, one of their co-workers was found murdered at the job site. To this day, my father carries the physical and psychological scars of that night. His right eye, now resembling a cat's eye, serves as a constant reminder, and he battles PTSD, haunted by the horrors they faced in the wilderness. In the aftermath, authorities launched an investigation. They uncovered that the area was frequented by individuals involved in criminal activities, including child trafficking. The tent they discovered belonged to one of these perpetrators, using the remote location for sinister purposes. The revelation sent shockwaves through the community, prompting increased security and surveillance in the surrounding forests. It was a wake-up call for the logging industry and law enforcement, underscoring the need for greater awareness in remote work environments. As the news spread, it became a cautionary tale for other loggers and outdoor workers, a reminder of the potential dangers that lurk beneath the surface of serene, natural settings. Safety protocols were revised, and stricter measures were implemented to protect employees. For my father, this incident marked a turning point. He dedicated himself to raising awareness about workplace safety and supporting trauma survivors. Despite his ongoing challenges, he remains resilient, using his experiences to empower others and advocate for change. My father's harrowing encounter serves as a chilling reminder that danger can lurk even in the most tranquil corners of the world. It emphasizes the importance of vigilance, trusting our instincts, and prioritizing safety above all else. The wilderness may offer beauty and tranquility, but it can also conceal the darkest secrets. In August 2013, I, a 21-year-old girl, set out on an exhilarating camping adventure in far north Queensland, Australia, alongside my two friends, Oliver and Henrik, backpacking companions from Estonia. Our destination was Barren Falls, just northwest of Cairns, famed for its stunning natural beauty. Rather than opting for an official campsite, we craved a more secluded experience and decided to forge our own path. We started by following the tourist trail, but soon, yearning for adventure, we veered off course. After scaling a railing, we found ourselves trekking along a train track for several kilometers, which eventually led us downhill through a dense forest to the river. The rugged terrain and lack of mobile phone service heightened our sense of isolation. At last, we reached Barren Falls, surrounded by lush, tropical foliage. The sight of the magnificent waterfall, just a short walk upstream from our campsite, took our breath away. While Oliver and Henrik eagerly dove into the water from a cliff, I, more cautious about heights, opted to relax at the campsite with a book, savoring the serene beauty around me. However, the day's tranquility shattered when an eerie, deep laughter echoed from the forest. A chill ran down my spine as I scanned the dense foliage, trying to locate the source. Part of me wanted to dismiss it as a trick of my imagination, but the unsettling laughter was impossible to ignore. When Oliver and Henrik returned, their faces alight with excitement, they revealed that they had forgotten the firelighters for our campfire and needed to head to the nearest store. Despite my discomfort about being left alone, I kept my fears to myself, not wanting to appear foolish, especially with my growing crush on Henrik. They reassured me everything would be fine and promised to return before dark, leaving me alone as dusk settled in. As I tried to refocus on my book, the reality that they would be gone for over an hour began to sink in. Time dragged on, and after what felt like an eternity, I heard footsteps approaching from the forest. Initially, I thought it was Oliver and Henrik, but a sense of doubt crept in. The footsteps sounded different, and then that chilling laughter returned, deeper and closer than before. Fear seized me, and I sprang to my feet, scanning the tree line. My heart raced when I spotted a man perched on a log across the stream. He wore an immaculate tuxedo and a top hat, a bizarre sight in the wilderness. I couldn't comprehend how he had reached this remote spot dressed so formally. As I watched him, his face came into view, revealing severe burns and deep scars. His wiry hair cascaded to his shoulders, adding to the strange aura surrounding him. The laughter continued, paralyzing me with fear. Our eyes locked, and a mix of curiosity and terror washed over me as he asked why I was alone at the campsite. Summoning my courage, I calmly explained that I was camping with friends who had gone to buy supplies. He laughed again, the sound chilling, and inquired how long we planned to stay. Sensing danger, I lied, saying we would be leaving the next day, hoping to dissuade him from any ill intentions. He seemed to enjoy my unease, but I maintained my composure, Trying to engage him in conversation, he claimed to have seen another camper upstream and abruptly turned to vanish into the forest, leaving me shaken but relieved. Moments later, Oliver and Henrik returned, and I quickly recounted my unsettling encounter. Initially skeptical, they soon recognized the seriousness in my demeanor. Henrik insisted I sleep between them for the next 2 nights to ensure my safety and peace of mind. Those nights were restless, with heightened vigilance keeping me awake, my ears straining for the return of that haunting laughter. Thankfully, it never came. Our remaining days in the wilderness passed without incident, and we eventually packed up to head home. In the years since, I found solace in outdoor activities that didn't involve overnight stays. Hiking became my preferred way to enjoy nature's beauty while feeling secure in the daylight. I cherished the thrill of exploration, the crisp air, and the breathtaking views. Yet the thought of camping alone remained a haunting echo of my encounter at Barren Falls. I often reflect on that fateful day and the enigmatic man in the tuxedo. What were his intentions? How did he end up in such a remote location? What could have happened if Oliver and Henrik hadn't returned when they did? This haunting experience left an indelible mark on my psyche. Despite my curiosity, extensive searches online turned up no similar encounters. The man in the tuxedo remained an enigma, a solitary figure confined to that isolated moment in time, as if he had emerged from the depths of the forest only to vanish just as mysteriously. To this day, I haven't found the courage to camp again. The fear of encountering something inexplicable still lingers, guiding me towards safer outdoor activities. Perhaps one day, with time and the support of trusted companions, I'll summon the strength to venture back into the realm of camping. For now, the memory of the man in the tuxedo at Barren Falls serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder to remain vigilant in the face of the unknown that may lurk in the wilderness. My family owned a few cottages in Washington, where we often gathered for family get-togethers. For this trip, though, I decided to go solo. Having just turned 20, it was my first time camping alone, and I thought staying near the cottages would be a safe choice in case anything went wrong. After an hour's drive, I hiked for 30 minutes down a trail leading to my chosen cottage. As I approached, I noticed something alarming. One of the windows was missing. No shards of glass littered the ground. It looked as if the entire window had been taken out. I hadn't planned on entering the cottage, but curiosity got the better of me. I had brought the key for emergencies, and this seemed like a situation worth investigating. To my surprise, the door swung open without needing to be unlocked. Stepping inside, it became clear that the cottage had been broken into. Muddy footprints marked the floor, and some valuable items were missing. It was unsettling, but with no idea of when this had happened, months might have passed since anyone visited. I tried to lock up as best as I could, and then set off to find a place to camp. I had no cell service, but figured I could wait to inform my family or the police. I hiked down the hill for another 30 minutes and found a flat spot to set up camp. Just as I finished, rain began to pour. New to this, I struggled to get everything organized, and soaked through, I settled on a log under a tree to eat some pre-packaged food. Suddenly, I heard someone talking nearby. I turned to see a drenched man walking up the hill toward the cottage, seemingly oblivious to my presence. He muttered to himself in a disjointed way, sending chills down my spine as he vanished into the trees. After an hour, I decided to hike back up to the cottage to see if he was still around. From a distance, it looked empty, so I returned to my campsite. Night fell, and I managed to start a small fire despite the rain, using it to heat up my food. Not long after, I heard footsteps approaching from the direction of the hill. I squinted into the darkness beyond the campfire's glow until a figure emerged. The man I'd seen earlier stood there, looking much the same but barely visible in the dim light. "Hey, what do you want?" I shouted, trying to sound braver than I felt. He stopped, staring at me with a blank expression as rain dripped from his hair. I yelled again, but he didn't move. We were only about 10 feet apart, and each passing second increased my dread. Just then, I heard a single footstep behind me. Panic surged through me, and I sprinted to the side of the hill, not stopping until my legs gave out beneath me. I wasn't sure if they were chasing me, but the rain and wind made it hard to hear anything. I found my way back to the car and, once in range, called 911. In the following days, investigators combed through the cottage and my campsite. While my campsite had been abandoned with only a few scattered items left behind, the cottage revealed 3 distinct shoe prints on the floor. I shook for weeks at the thought of 3 unknown men lurking nearby. Authorities deemed it likely just a robbery since they hadn't pursued me, but I often wondered what might have happened if I'd stayed. The incident haunted me for months, raising questions about its true nature. The men's strange behavior, the missing window, and their failure to chase me gnawed at my mind. I decided to dig deeper, hoping to uncover the truth. Exploring local news archives, I discovered a series of unsolved disappearances and bizarre occurrences in the area surrounding the cottages. Reports of strange sightings, eerie sounds, and shadowy figures in the woods had been documented over the years, often echoing my own experience. Driven by curiosity and a need for closure, I connected with a woman named Sarah online. Her family had encountered similar oddities during their stay at one of the cottages. Initially hesitant, she soon recognized the alarming similarities in our stories. Together, we delved further, reaching out to local historians, interviewing residents, and consulting paranormal investigators. The more we unearthed, the darker the history of the land surrounding the cottages became. Legends spoke of a curse placed by an ancient tribe whose sacred grounds had been disturbed, resulting in a series of tragedies and hauntings. As we researched, we stumbled upon a forgotten tale of 3 outcasts banished from the tribe centuries ago, believed to have dabbled in dark magic. Their malevolent spirits were rumored to linger, seeking revenge on those who trespassed. Equipped with this knowledge, Sarah and I resolved to confront the spirits directly. We gathered a team of paranormal experts, armed ourselves with protective artifacts, and returned to the cottages, filled with anticipation. As we explored the area, we encountered chilling phenomena, disembodied voices, sudden cold spots, and fleeting shadows. Determined to communicate with the spirits, we conducted a series of intense investigations. Eventually, we made contact. The spirits revealed their tragic tale, their anger rooted in historical wrongs against them. Sarah and I empathized with their pain, pleading for mercy and offering prayers. We performed cleansing rituals, slowly easing the malevolence that had hung over the land. In the aftermath, our efforts gained attention, drawing historians, researchers, and thrill-seekers to the cottages. What had once been a family retreat transformed into a hub for paranormal enthusiasts, eager to experience the legends firsthand. For Sarah and me, the experience profoundly changed our lives. We became advocates for preserving the cottages and their history, working with local authorities to establish a cultural heritage site, honoring the area's significance. Our journey taught us the importance of empathy and confronting the shadows that can dwell within our lives. Ultimately, the cottages in Washington became more than just a family getaway. They evolved into a place where history and legend intertwined, where the past and present converged, and where 2 determined individuals shed light on the darkest corners of human experience. The legacy of our investigation endures, reminding us that sometimes the most profound stories are found in the most unexpected places. If you've encountered a terrifying event, or have a spine-chilling horror story to share, we at Eerie Shadows want to hear from you. Share your experiences with us and let's uncover the mysteries lurking in the eerie shadows together. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more eerie tales and spine-chilling stories like this one.